three key players for the Wildcats football team this season. We're at Frangos, which is, I think, probably the most popular food spot in town with kids. I would think it's probably not really close. I'm joined today by Colin Allard, Matton and Mark Holleran. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
We're 2 days away from the start of training camp, the official start. You guys have 2 more days of COD camp over in Billerica. How are you guys feeling right now?
Feeling good.
Mark, there's like an order. No, I feel like we're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been putting good work at COD camp and over the summer. I think we've all kind of gotten better and we're kind of like meshing as a team.
Yeah.
I've been grinding all summer, so.
Yeah, not to toot my own horn, Mark, but
Excited.
Mark's really excited with the season, guys. He's going to do really good.
So we've got Mark's a sophomore, you two guys are juniors, right? So no senior representation here, and not a lot of seniors on this year's class. Last year there was more than 20 seniors. Can you guys talk about the kind of change there in the dynamics of going from a really senior heavy class to?
I feel like it's not that big of a change. Obviously, we still have our seniors, and our seniors are seniors. They're still our leaders. And just because there's not a lot of them doesn't mean that leadership's going to change. But it also means, especially for the positions that don't have a senior, that juniors need to step up, or seniors that have less experience. For example, Noah. Noah is pretty much our leader in the offensive line. There's not a lot of returning offensive linemen with the Lee, Charlie, Elijah all leaving. But in the receiver, for me, I still have Connor, and Connor kind of just still leads us.
Yeah, that's a pretty big change for the O-line. Definitely not having any of those older guys to help develop the younger guys anymore. It was a pretty big loss, but I think we'll get through it.
So I want to ask you guys, we're kind of right at that point where the preseason's about to start, and it's anything's possible. How are each of you guys feeling with, you've got preseason, there's all the excitement. I'm 40 and old and fat, and I still remember preseason in football. Water never tasted as good as it did when you're getting those breaks, and it's just anything is possible. What are each of you guys feeling right now?
I feel offensively, people kind of doubted us after losing. Kind of most of our, I think we lost probably 9 of our 11 starters. But I think we've kind of picked it up. We put in a new offense. I think it fits our personnel better. And then defensively, I think we lost, but I think I didn't think we lost that. Gus returning is huge. Pat returning is huge. Our linebackers are set. Our corners will be fine. Our D-line's going to be good. It's kind of just comes down if we can understand the concepts and just do our jobs.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of kind of getting these younger guys too involved now with less people, less depth at each position. So that's been big.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're a sleeper team this year. I feel like we can be a little better than last year. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 2 weeks about left in the summer before the school year starts back up. What have you guys spent your summers doing, each of you?
What have I spent my summers doing? Make sure I hang out with my friends. Have a good time, but also gotta get the work in. I've played lacrosse all summer. I've been going to sevens, and then that's kind of it. Just hang out with my friends, have fun, make sure I have fun before school starts, and not take this time for granted.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at Omni Gym with Mark the whole summer basically. So I've been doing that, and then I have a positional trainer, so I work out with him and a few other kids who go there. But it's been really good, especially since I'm switching my main position to D-line. It's been helpful.
And I've been throwing at M2 since literally the season ended last year, and we've been doing sevens, and like Noah said, we've been in the gym all summer.
So Mark, I mean, I know nothing's set in stone, but it's kind of you're the quarterback.
He's the quarterback.
You're the quarterback as a sophomore. That doesn't happen very often. What are you feeling about that, and how do you guys feel about him as a quarterback?
Want me to go first? I think Mark is an awesome player. Dynamite. He took my spot. It's all right. No, I'm kidding. You know, last year I kind of knew like it was kind of the end for me at quarterback. I was kind of just staying there until Mark learned the plays, and like obviously I had the pretty bad game against Watertown except for that one like run. But like as soon as after that, I feel like it was, what week did you kind of start? August when we kind of knew that Mark was gonna jump ahead of me for 2, because I was never able to really throw. Like I was always able to move a little, but never got the throwing down. But and then Mark just got better this whole offseason at M2, and at sevens it really made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do compared to his JV stats last year. See what M2's been doing for him.
Are you excited?
I am excited. Yeah.
You nervous? I know you're nervous. I'd be nervous.
A little bit.
Colin, you're moving to wide receiver full time on offense, and then still safety on defense, where you had, I think, kind of a sleeper season last year. I was looking back through like our footage, and I was like, wow, like Colin actually was like making plays on D, you know, and that wasn't any disrespect there. It was just there were so many seniors that were playing, and you were a sophomore. How is it going adjusting to wide receiver? How do you feel about that?
Well, in 8th grade, 8th grade was my first year of football. Started in 8th grade, and I played receiver with Mark, and I had a good season. I feel like I did pretty good. And then I came into freshman year thinking I was going to play receiver, and then we didn't have a quarterback for JV. And then so I tried out, and I actually did pretty good at first. So then that's when I won the starting job freshman year and started against AC. We all know who that went. Didn't go too well for me. And then kind of that whole year, I was kind of in like a slump. I didn't play good. I was kind of like in my own head. And I was like, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep playing quarterback, or do I want to come back to receiver? So I stayed at quarterback. And last year, with Mark coming in, I had a conversation with Coach, and he was like, you can stay at quarterback, but you're going to compete with Mark. And I knew I wasn't going to beat Mark. So then I started like kind of shifting, like in that practices, kind of started shifting to receiver. And then obviously I was on defense last year. But at first I wasn't like really like supposed to be like a starter. Like there was people ahead of me, and then I ended up by the start of the year getting there on defense. But and then this year came, and then we all kind of knew that Mark was going to start. So I started to shift my focus over to receiver, and then me and Mark got to working, and I think I'm doing pretty good now.
How did each of you guys get into football? Like, where did it start? I mean, you said you started in the 8th grade, really.
My story's a little different. Well, so I had an older cousin. So like growing up, I always played soccer, and I was always on like a pretty good team, whatever. And then in 7th grade, I quit, and I didn't play anything. Then in 8th grade, my older cousin, who went to the high school, left to go play college football. So I was kind of like, if he's that good, then maybe I can be pretty good. So then I played in 8th grade, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. Then I liked it a lot. Then coming into freshman year, played quarterback. Didn't really like it, didn't do that good. Went through like I was on a really high when I got like told I was going to start, and then I went really low when I did bad and I got benched, and I kind of like was at the bottom the rest of the year, and I didn't play very good. And then I went against Tewksbury, went even lower, played terrible. Ooh. And then that summer, actually at the end of the year, Coach Turner told me that I have to start smiling more when I play. And then even in hockey, Bobby said he'd start smiling more, because at the start of hockey, I played really bad too. So they always told me I need to start having more fun, and that kind of helped me, and it's kind of the reason I was able to take over the safety spot last year, and then kind of have fun with the receiver spot this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing football since I think 3rd grade now. So I started in Andover with their like youth program, and they're a really good high school team. So I knew for a while like I wanted to play high school football. But then we moved here into 4th grade, and it was like my first chance to like meet people and make friends. So August is like I met like a bunch of people I'm like best friends with now through football, and I just loved it ever since, because like all my coaches were good, and then like had down years, had good years, but then freshman year I came in, I started a few games, and then I shared time. I got hurt with my Achilles, and then I shared time for Tewksbury. So I was like pretty upset with that season, because it's just like a lot of missed opportunity. But now it's like last year was really good. I started all year, and then like there were some games that were a lot better than others. Like Stoneham was not a good game for me. but like Tewksbury was a real good game, and some other ones. But yeah, now I was excited for this year.
And I started playing in 2nd grade because my parents signed me up. Because my older brother, he played like his whole life in Winfield, and then he played at St. John's Prep. And he kind of gave me the love for the game. And yeah.
So one of the things for us, we've talked a lot about me and Elijah, is like how many for us, like new faces we're getting to meet. Like Under the Lights has been something that WCTV's never done before we got here. And there was this core group of kids that, like, for the first 2 years of it, like, we really got to know.
Michael Lawler.
Mike Lawler kind of paved the way. Colin's the only kid that really has extensive experience being on camera. And, like, I've given him a hard time, but, like, when I was a freshman or sophomore,
I was a little quiet.
Yeah, but I could not have sat. I would have just been there, like.
If you like pop a picture of my old face, like
I should just put that up.
I was a little young.
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
I was very nervous.
I was so nervous.
Mark went freshman year.
Yeah, Mark. So Mark did one interview last year, and it's like, for us, it's getting to know a whole new team basically, and we're kind of like, hey, we know Colin, he's good on camera, but like we don't know anyone else. Who do we bring in? But like, what advice would you give to the kids that are going to be coming in now? Because I try to just say like, have fun. We edit it. We're not trying to make any high school kid look bad.
Yeah.
Like,
do like what Brett used to do. Brett used to, like, especially during hockey, he would come in and he would just say the most random stuff, and they'd like kind of have to cut and paste it and use what they had to use. But it's kind of my advice. Have fun with it. But it's okay to be nervous at first. I was nervous, but you kind of just get used to it as like you go on, and then they'll film your other sports and it'll just get easier after that.
For you guys, who are there players that you're like is kind of like a sleeper you think that people might not expect, but you're like, I think they could be legit and like no one's gonna see it coming? Who do you guys have some sleeper picks?
I do.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Marv.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's a good one.
Took mine. Marvin's.
Marv, he's so athletic, but he's just a little short.
But he's been putting the work in.
Yeah,
I think he might be both sides of the ball starting.
Yeah.
He definitely
Timmy.
will.
I'd say Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy Watson, linebacker.
Yeah.
And then
that'll be big for us.
I'm not gonna
this
say
year.
like Pat or Gus because they started last year. Think of a good one. Probably one of these two linemen, either
LC.
Adam Valise or LC.
Yeah.
One of those two are gonna step up in a big way. I should have a feeling.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys have like pregame routines that you guys do before every game? I'm curious about that.
Oh, last year we would go in the field and throw. Me and Michael.
Oh yeah. Last year we had me and Elijah. We'd go on to no, not even that. Like probably like 45 minutes, 30 minutes before everyone else got out there. We'd go out. We just do like a little pregame, little
Warm-up,
ritual.
right?
Yeah, a little ritual warm up. But now I have to find someone else to do it with because he's gone. But
Yeah, I'll do it with you.
yeah, no.
So go.
I didn't really have like a.
Mark didn't really play.
I didn't really play, but Waller would snap with Elijah, and I would just catch it. So. And me and Febo would always throw.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
Me
that.
and Febo would always throw.
Oh, and then this isn't just us, but the whole team. We do like 7 lines.
Yeah.
We do like the same lines every single week, every single day, and I feel like,
for warm-ups?
Yeah, for like
Yeah,
warm ups.
for
I feel like
stretching.
I feel like when you're with the same people, it's like a ritual.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. We have to find
Me
new
and
ones.
Noah were in the same one last year.
Yeah, we have to find new ones now
It
though.
was so fun.
How do you guys like handle? How has the team handled having that many kids graduate and that were playing like key roles, but also have pretty big personalities? Some of
Yeah.
them, like
Yeah.
and unique personalities.
I'd
you
say
know?
it's a lot of like just looking up to our grade more now.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
the
sh-
seniors,
yeah.
they're good, but like it's just there's not a lot of them, and there's not a lot of them who have like been playing for a long time. But like at least kids can like kind of look at Allard and they're like, oh, he's been playing since freshman year, and like ask him questions and help out.
I feel like we try to have. Last year, I think my reason I think we started so good is because we're having fun.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like fell off the train and stopped having fun.
After
Like,
Stoneham.
Yeah, I've been trying to like have fun with it. I don't want to take like obviously I want to take football seriously, but can't take it too seriously. It's still a game,
Yeah.
and then we'll see in the locker room who's gonna be like the Elise and the Charlies and the Tiagos who's gonna be dancing around before the game, like who's gonna be giving those speeches, like whoever can step if you feel comfortable enough to step in the role, because I don't know if that's going to be my role, or
I
who
think
knows?
Gus. I think
It's probably going to be
yeah,
Gus.
probably
Who's
gonna
going
be
to
Gus.
say some stuff in the locker room? But it's just going to be interesting. There's a bunch of different people stepping up, and it'll be interesting to see who's going to be our leaders.
It's interesting to me. So you mentioned Gus because his older brother Clyde, who's graduating, obviously was like very unique kid, very big presence, but not
Different.
like very. Tell me
Yeah.
about the differences between Gus and Clyde.
I walked into the weight room one time, and Clyde was benching, I think, like 315 for reps, of like maybe 5. And he's reading a book between each set and listening to like classical music.
Yeah,
So,
Gus would probably have to go
don't-
look for his. Gus, love him to death. Me and Noah hang out with him all the time. We're in a big friend group. We always hang out, but
His
he's like
phone's-
ditzy. His phone is an inanimate object. Sometimes he
It's either,
loses
it's
it.
either
all-
dead or gone.
Or dead. Yeah. But like when he's in the zone, he's like locked in. He reminds me a lot of Clyde when he's locked in.
Yeah.
That's just when he's locked. Like in game, locked in. Practice, he has a bad influence around him, and Colin Allard, that kind of steer him off into the wrong direction. To having a little. Sometimes freshman year we'd have a little bit too much fun and then have to get yelled at and straight and narrow on the scout team. But no, I think Gus is a leader. He's a different kind of leader than Clyde, but he is a leader.
Yeah.
One thing I did just want to say that for all of the kind of like ribbing that I've given you, being a 3-sport varsity athlete since your freshman year, you said something that kind of struck me about like needing to have more fun. Like that's a lot of pressure. Like to be like, people can be like, oh yeah, like you think like you're the man, but like as a freshman out there playing varsity sports, like can you just talk about like going from being a freshman and getting reps on 3 varsity sports to now like being a junior, and how you've kind of grown, and how were you able to find a way to like have fun again when you were putting so much pressure on yourself?
I think, well, all right, freshman year football was terrible. I'll be honest, I hated it because I was just like nervous and I wasn't ready for that, environment. But hockey came, and so we do these 4 scrimmages at the start of every year. And the first 3, well, we did tryouts first, and I didn't do as well as I should have. If I'm being honest, me personally, I should have been right in that second pairing, on defense. But I started as the 8th defenseman out of 8, so I was all the way at the bottom. And I was playing with the senior, and I remember I was angry, like I was so annoyed, and the people above me didn't like do as well. So I got my chance in the last scrimmage, and I remember I was super nervous. I was ripping my stick so tight, and I'm playing with Bobby Sear, who I played with for forever now. Like after I played with him freshman year and sophomore year, and then I played with him freshman and sophomore lacrosse. He was an awesome leader for me, someone I looked up to. But I made the worst turnover of my life. Kid goes down and scores on a breakaway, and I'm about to punch someone. I'm so angry, and then I kind of come back, and I score the worst goal of my life. Like from the blue line, slapped on the ice. Wasn't fast, it wasn't slow, and I scored, and I didn't smile. And I got back to the bench, and even Coach Scanlon's looking at me. He's like, I remember this, Colin, are you ever happy? And like it was kind of like it's the same thing Craig and Bobby always said. That's I never smile. So after that, I started to get more comfortable. Obviously, I played in Reading my first game. I knew that wasn't going to be a good tell for what the season's going to be. So I kind of just blanked my mind. I actually did pretty good. And then that whole year, I didn't score a goal, but I also had the most fun I've ever had playing any sport. So then after that, I kind of just realized, like, the people I looked up to always had fun while playing. That's Nathan, Alberti, Lawler, Ali, Bobby, like all those guys. I kind of all looked up to them. They were always having fun, but like they can be serious, but at the same time, they always had fun playing the sport. So I kind of try to, like, especially for the young kids, especially with Mark, like I just want him to have fun out there, not, put too much pressure on himself, and especially with all those young kids who are going to play early, because there's going to be a couple of them this year.
What advice would you two give to Mark? Because, I mean, we all know, everyone in town kind of knows that he's talented, but like, no matter how good a season, you could have an incredible season, there will be some part of your first season playing varsity football as a sophomore where like you're going to have a very hard time. It might be a single quarter, it might be a single game. Like, is just going to happen. You're only a sophomore. What advice would you guys give to him when he hits that sort of those struggles?
Kind of like just be a goldfish, like just forget it, like move on immediately. I mean, obviously you can look back at it on film, be like, I can do this better. I can change the way where I stepped or whatever. But like for that game or play, just keep going because there's still more game to play.
Probably, like once you're down, like you're gonna. There's gonna be games where we're not gonna win. Like we're not going undefeated. There's a good chance we don't go undefeated. And after those games, like when I was younger, what I would do is I just think about all the things I messed up on, and I just say don't do that. Like every single person on the team made a mistake that game, and it's kind of like just do your own thing, have fun with it, and no one really cares. The next day we're all still gonna think of you the same, just because you threw a couple picks. No one cares.
Yeah, a loss is never one person's fault.
Yeah.
So 2 final questions. The first one's kind of a more, I don't know about serious, but like, just what would you guys say? Because Mark played, I know the Saugus game, you got playing time at a varsity game, but that was kind of, you guys were up big, it was on the road. What would you guys tell him? What's it like to go out there and play in those home games? You have the band, you have the crowd. Just how would you describe that experience at Wilmington High, those night home games?
For me, well, like against Melrose, I got a pick, and it was in like the first quarter when it was still like competitive. I remember the crowd like exploded, and I was like shaking. It's so fun. Like, but you are gonna be nervous. I was nervous for every game. Even like Lawler and Dempsey were talking about how they used to get nervous in the huddle. Like all of them, everyone gets nervous out there. It's kind of just like how you use that, and just have fun. Like I always say, have fun with it, but like it's kind of just.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It looks a lot bigger once there's people in the stands. So it's like, just have fun with it. Yeah, I don't know.
Last question. Nothing to do with football talent at all. If you guys each had to nominate someone that's like you have to put them in front of the camera this year, who would each of you guys go with? Someone who's going to be.
I'm going last.
And who's going to be entertaining?
Who's entertaining? I know what I'm saying.
Chris Kahn.
It's a terrible one.
I think I have 2. I think I have JP or Josue.
Oh,
No,
JP.
not JP.
Not JP.
Not JP.
Josue.
No, neither.
Josue.
These kids are naming bad ones.
Okay, Dwyer.
Yeah,
That's
Colin Allard is who I was going to say. Or, like, who would be, like, weirdly funny? Who's just weird and embraces it? Who likes being...
Max.
Max.
Yeah, Max
Max.
Bagstads. He's just strange. Strange kid. Yeah.
Well,
Shout out Max.
Shout out Max.
well, guys, thank you for joining us this morning. Good luck with the rest of the COD camp, and then we'll be seeing you Friday, and we're really looking forward to the season. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.